Hey everyone, how you going? It's Adrenaline7 here, and we are looking at XCOM 2, the Long War mod, and it is going to be awesome. Now, this is a voiceover. I've been having a lot of trouble with my with the microphone inputs and stuff like that, the hardware itself. Every time I try and record something, because I'm using Adobe Audition, every time I try and record something, it kind of just stops recording after just a couple of minutes. So I tend to lose a lot of my, stuff that way, a lot of my recordings and whatnot. Which is a shame, because I'd like to do some live voice recordings before I actually get to, instead of having to do this voiceover thing like I'm doing now. But what I'm going to do here with this video, it's I'm basically cutting up this video into different parts and pieces, just so it does, because there's a lot of boring parts. I mean, this particular mission I'm doing now, Operation Spider Knife, I did it for about 40 minutes, which was probably more than necessary. That was that I needed to do, but still, it's not too bad. So what I'm doing here in this particular part is just selecting my squad that I'm using. So I've edited a lot of the, as you can see, I've edited a lot of the equipment from stuff. I've got a lot of flashbangs. I got a lot of smoke grenades, a couple of flashbangs, and extra frag grenades, because I tend to use a lot of frag grenades for this sort of thing at the moment. Yeah, we're looking at just to see what ones are available, because I'm trying to get a squad of, just a couple of squaddies and at least 2 rookies if possible. But I'm looking at the infiltration, because I need to infiltrate first before you start the mission. It's going to take 6 days to infiltrate. So you've got your base infiltration at 5 days plus the squad modifier. So the more people you have in your squad, the infiltration takes a lot longer, plus the gear that you have as well. So that's actually taking a lot longer than expected. So what I believe I ended up doing is actually removing one of my squad members. So I'm only having a thing of 5 now, a squad of 5. So there we go. Once you remove some people, it actually goes down. So it's now 5 days and 3 hours, which is much more manageable to go. So off they go. You in your khaki shorts, Mr. Centerman. Okay. So then we go start infiltration. So the way infiltration works with this is that you get your squad to go in first, and what they do is that they scout out the area and they look at the amount of time. So as you can see how it's got Timberwolf there, if you look on the right hand side of that little thing there, it's got 0% infiltration. So when we actually start moving on time, those guys, that squad gets to work, they scout out the area and they look to see how many enemies are there. The more infiltration you do, the higher the percentage, the less enemies you have to fight later on, which was something that it took me a couple of tries to get used to. I didn't actually look at all the proper things. So see how you play that? Time goes forward, the infiltration goes up, and a new mission comes up, I believe. There we go. So what I do is and once a new mission comes up, you can review it, you can find out what's going on. So you can see it's extremely light activity, enemy material is the reward that we get, and that's Operation Fire Mask. This is the actual mission that we're going to be doing today. By the way, like a lot of these clips that you're going to see, a lot of these are actually just cut content and edited stuff put together, because for a 40-minute mission, a lot of the mission is just me skulking around like a cat trying to get into someone's house and eat their food and then crap on their front lawn. Speaking of which, I need to get rid of that cat that's next door. Not literally, just shoo it away every time I see it in my driveway. But excuse me. In any case, yep, I'm hiring some new rookies to go in, so I've got another squad of 5, and that's taking just less than 5 days to do, so 4 days and 23 hours, I believe. And I'm looking on a small screen for this. Here is a cut, so I've already loaded that one up. We're getting Timberwolf to go forward, and here we're going to get time to go.
The outcome of this research can only further our
okay, and that was some of the research that I actually activated since. So resistance communications. So what the Resistance Communications allows us to do is actually contact other areas in the world, other continents. So there's South America, there's Western Europe, there's Asia as well. There's a couple of different places that you can go. South Africa as well was another one. So here I'm just trying to debate whether or not to go with modular weapons or with alien biotech. Now, I've been told the best thing you can do with this is try and research your weapons as soon as possible, just so you've got enough firepower to actually start attacking enemies, and your health is probably not going to be as bad because you're basically expected to die anyway. That's what I've been told, and I think... I'm just trying to remember if I do. I think I do modular. Yeah, I did do modular weapons.
Research your priority, Commander.
Considering I only recorded this like the night before, or the night, a couple of nights before I started doing the voiceover, I can barely remember what I did. Oh well. Anyway,
Commander.
With my oh, here we go. This is where I was talking about different parts, like so South America, Western Europe, South Africa, and a couple of other places. Now, I would love to have uploaded this video much earlier. But unfortunately, like I said, with the hardware issues I'm having with my microphone for some reason, it's just not viable. It's just not working. Every time I play this game and then I load up Audition and then I try and use the microphone at the same time and record everything, it just doesn't work. Oh, here we go, and we got a new mission. This is Demon Prophecy. I think I just ignore it. I don't actually start anything because I haven't got the manpower to do it, so I think I just ignore that. But yeah, anyway, my audio setup. Because I'm using a condenser mic that's USB powered, it's, for some reason, my USB, it just keeps kicking out. And I don't know what it was. I mean, granted, before this recording, I was running a lot of things off USB. Like I had my webcam, I had like controllers, I had all sorts of stuff. My internet is run on USB as well. I use a USB Wi-Fi device. So I looked around on the internet for suggestions, and they were saying that, if you're having problems with the microphone, it keeps disconnecting on you, it might be worth considering taking out all of the excess USB stuff. So, I tried that out. Still seemed to occur, which was a bit of an issue. I went through settings, and disabled the activity, like where the computer would shut down the USB if it's inactive. I turned that off. But it still seems to be coming on. It still seems to be cutting out on me. So here's Operation Fire Mask, and that's our objectives. Okay. So, yeah, so a lot of these XCOM videos, I am thinking of just recording all my footage, because I can do that anytime. I can play this and record this at any time at night time, I'm fine with that. And then maybe just do a voiceover afterwards and go from there and just explain what's happening as I do this. So this mission is a smash and grab. Basically, you go in, you attack an enemy, or you attack a whole bunch of enemies, and you have to collect particular items and resources. So here's some of the resources that are coming up now. They're taking a while to come up. So there's 4 different caches. They need to be 5 different... Is it 4 or 5? I think it's 4. 4 different caches that need to be collected. And we're going to concealment mode. So here, what I'm showing you now are most of the highlights, because I do skulk around a fair bit. So I tried setting up this particular one, and straight away...
Hostile targets in sight.
Hostiles. So they're coming up, and luckily enough, because I've done all the infiltration, I've done a lot of infiltration. It's like 143%, I think it was when I started this. Enemies are much less. Instead of doing a mission that was like, if you did no infiltration, I'd be versing at least 29 different aliens on a squad of 8. Okay, because I'm doing a squad of 5 with infiltration. It's the number of enemies has heavily reduced from 29 to less than 10. Okay, usually it's about 9 or so. So here, I've moved all my guys in position. I think I just get them to hunker down. I get them to hunker down as well.
Holding position.
I like using the keys, like the number keys above the alphabet. And this surprised me. Usually when you go into concealment mode and you hide behind cover and the enemies walk up, generally they don't actually see you. So the fact that that sectoid came around and noticed me, right, if you saw that, it was right on the edge of on their line of sight. That really surprised me.
Deflection.
Okay, so now I'm just shooting enemies. So I'm going to see if I can get rid of that guy there, that sentry bot. There we go. Okay.
X-ray neutralized.
Cool, and then there's a couple of other ones as well, so we keep moving. So there's that sectoid, so I'm going to try and attack him as well. Now usually, like, I got this guy with a shotgun who I wanted to go around, and I just wanted to try and bust him open, but here we are. We see more troops just come out of nowhere. So I wasn't expecting him to be around there, but, you know, whatever works. Oh well. So anyway, so I try and bust this guy open, and generally it's not too bad. So it takes me a while because I usually try and just decide. So the fact that I'm right next to him and I'm only grazing him, it's XCOM. It's just the way it works. Alright, anyway, keep going, and basically the whole point I'm just trying to do here is just to wipe some of these guys out.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Oh well. But anyway, like I said, this is just one of the first missions, so this wasn't technically hard, but at the same time, it did stop me from, one guy did actually get killed, and that's just unfortunate circumstances. Okay, so I ended up blowing him up, and luckily enough, I was able to miss one of my guys there. So they're in Overwatch. Here moves Array behind cover. Now I think this guy tries to mind fray. Yeah, he tries to mind fray him. And unfortunately, because I'm such a low level, basically these guys just end up hunkering down, and most of the time they just they get panicked, and then most of the time they just hunker down. It's only a couple of times where I've actually had one of my soldiers get panicked and start just shooting everywhere. Doesn't usually happen that much, and the fact that he's hunkered down just means he's got boosted defense anyway as well, so that's good for me. So I was really hoping to get the flank on him, but the fact that I'm still in concealment, this guy's still in concealment, and I think that's one of the good things about the Shinobis, because I think that's what he is. He's either a ranger or I think he's a Shinobi just because he's got that submachine gun. Or did I give him a submachine gun? I can't remember. Oh well. But in any case, it's, so basically I'm still working my way around. I'm still just, like here, I'm just trying to grab some items. And then just put her in a defensive position from there.
Target package secured. Heading out.
Okay, so this next part here, I'm actually shooting some rocket, I didn't realize that one of my characters actually had, rockets that I can use. So I tried that out, shoot the rocket. It's got a really big range of, overshot here. That's not bad. A huge range for explosions, but they're very weak because he was on the outskirts. He only just copped one bit of health from it. Oh well. So we're still going through. That advance decided to move now instead of going on Overwatch. So he's going to try and attack one of my guys. Oh no, he stuns him. That's right.
Guys.
Yeah, so that's what those engineers like to use that sort of thing, and there's not too bad. I mean, it does kind of stuff up your. Yeah, I was surprised about that. They were able to hit me.
I'll just go.
I mean, that was kind of expected though. So here, this is when I started utilizing the really awesome moves for Shinobi class and Assault classes and stuff the Ranger classes and whatnot, because they've actually got a machete that they can use as well for melee attacks, and I didn't realize how strong it was, but check this out. Okay, so I activate this one, and then I go in that particular square so I can get some extra cover, but check it out. Yeah, flash him. So it just goes through, jumps through, and just gives him a nice big spike. Awesome, man. I mean, 9 damage straight from there. Plus, I got equipment as well. So when that happened, I was like, yes! That was really, really cool.
I got the loot here.
Okay, and we've got some pretty decent, cover there as well. I was happy about that. Just trying to think what this guy does. I think this guy just moves up to the top right there. Okay. Oh yeah, it's just another explosion, so I try and wipe him out. And obviously there's always enemies who are just out of range for grenades and stuff like that. Well, handheld grenades anyway. Okay, so whittle him down. Makes it a bit easy for me. And I think here...
Understood. Moving out.
So I'll try and get behind cover here just to find out what's going on. Now I've equipped this guy with the pistol as well. The pistol allows for more accurate shots, but because he's disoriented, he gets that -20, as you can see down the bottom there, bottom left, in the red. So I'll try and shoot him. Now that would have been a decent shot, but unfortunately, yeah, I had a feeling he was going to miss. So, yeah, what can you do? So he's going to try and attack a few people. Oh, that's right, yeah. He ends up summoning a zombie. He reanimates a zombie, or reanimates a dead person. See, I've noticed that a lot of the shots that the enemy's taking here, they don't necessarily miss me. They tend to hit me, even with like they get a percentage between like 20 and 40, and they still hit me, and they still hit me fairly often. But each time they hit me was yeah, don't mind that sound there. That was just the video changing from clip to clip, because the audio is lagging behind the video. And unfortunately, that happens. So I fletch this guy as well. I fletch him as well. I mean, 95%. You really can't go wrong there. Okay, and he was down. Like that was 5. I was hoping a bit more, but I have a feeling. I'm just trying to think what he does. Do I shoot him? Or do I shoot the actual sectoid? I can't remember. Oh, I'll shoot him. Okay, so he's down and out. So that means I'm a little bit more safer with, yeah, texture clipping and that sort of stuff, and you know, missing textures and stuff like that when I go through the camera. So here we go. So I'm making my way up towards this particular area because I wanted to try and get rid of one of those guys there, but I think what happens is I actually go behind this cactus, because I thought that if I go behind the cactus, I'll be in a very similar line to the sectoid, so I can get him on a flank. But no, unfortunately, that is enough for him to actually stay behind full cover, considering that there's only like 1 or 2 squares difference of level between me and him. So yeah, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Alright, so I'm actually trying to get this guy. Oh, that's right. I move forward, and then I think I throw a grenade to get rid of that sectoid there. Because I know my shotgun's not going to do anything, especially when they're behind full cover on an angle like that.
Boom, shake the fucking room.
Yeah, I didn't realise that these soldiers actually swear as well. But you know what? I'm not fussed about it. I mean, I've got no problem with swearing anyway. I do in my school, I do in my class, but games like this, you know, I play this game because I'm an adult, you know, and it's fun. So yeah, even the Overwatchers, see? And then, yeah, they start panicking as well. Okay. So that time, I believe that time it's actually been going down as well. Okay, so what are the enemies going to do? I think they just end up shooting. Oh, that's right, this Advent Commander. Advent Commanders, they love marking. They love marking people, but he marks him, and he shoots him, and he kills him. I had no idea. At the time, I had no idea he had about 4 health left or less. So the fact that he died was very surprising to me. And I have to admit, I wasn't very happy about it, but, you know, it's XCOM. That's what happens. No big deal, no big fuss. I mean, the last mission I did, one died anyway, so the fact that, wait, did one person die? Yes, one person did die in the last mission, I believe. I'll have to review that. Oh well, anyway. So here I'm actually trying to make my way to the caches themselves. So I'm just trying to decide on where to actually go. Because I don't want to have to go in full force and then just get ambushed when I've got no more turns to do. So basically I'm just trying to inch my way there. And somehow he's able to hit me from there as well. See, not one shot from the aliens, I don't think any shot missed me with the aliens from what I recall. But, you know, evidently watching this video, if I watch it again and see it from there, it could possibly happen that way. Who knows? Alright, so that's still going. Okay, so I've got one down, so it makes it a bit more safer that way. So he's taking over that guy's space. Okay, so we've still got one guy here who's trying to go around somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. I think I tried to tempt that guy out with the thing, with an Overwatch, but I'll get to that later. So go down here. There's two extra guys, commander and just another a technician. No, just another soldier. So I give this guy a bit of a rest, and what I do is I actually swap him over for the soldier that's on the bottom, and I actually end up flanking the other guy. So if you watch it, once I actually decide to get there, here we go. So open the door, get on the floor, everyone walk the dinosaur, and so forth. We go through. Now, I'm just trying to figure out which is the best way to try and flank him. I don't think I end up flanking him technically, but I do happen to get behind him, and I think I end up throwing a grenade at him. In any case, so I found that was the safest bet in case he turned around and tried to shoot me, or in case I tried to miss. Sorry, I just smelled something in my area here, and I think there's a nappy that needs to be thrown out, which I'll do after I finish recording this. So I get the loot.
Target asset located.
And here is where I end up throwing a grenade, because I know I can at least get rid of one person. I'd rather get rid of one person than to try and stick around and get the loot. I mean, don't get me wrong, supplies and intel is really, really important in this game, but this game isn't going to work if you've got enemies shooting you and killing you. So number one priority is get rid of the enemies. The rest of the stuff is all secondary to that. I mean, once you once you kill the enemies, the second thing that you need to worry about is keeping your soldiers as alive and as healthy as possible, so that they're not as wounded as bad as what they could be, because you need to get as many people as you can fighting fit, ready to go. If they're stuck at a hospital for like 30 days, you're kind of screwed for a while. Oh well, in any case, I think here I end up going, I think I end up flanking him here.
Good copy. Moving on target.
See, yeah, even though getting graced, still hitting me, still attacking me, never misses, never missed. Okay, now do I? This guy doesn't have grenades, so I try and shoot them. And I've still got 8 turns to go as well. And they miss. They
Enemy
miss.
is still up.
I think I just got fed up and just decided to throw a grenade this time with this guy. And that got rid of him. Okay, so now here, I believe, I think, do I go for am I going for the cash? Yeah, I open the chest first. So I grab that. And I think here is where I go down and I attack the guy on the bottom. Now, I remember that this guy was the shinobi, so guess what's going to happen? Yep, we're fletching him. So you jump down and just give a nice sword swipe. Oh, that is nuts. That is so cool. I love that. Now the music kind of calms down here, which is kind of making me think that all the enemies are gone, but I'm still a little bit cautious. But I'm really not too sure.
Target asset recovered.
So I think from here onwards, I basically just go around. See, yeah, you have an enemy turn and it just immediately activates and then stops again. So that's all done. So yeah, there's no more enemies, so all I need to do now is that within 6 turns, just go and grab the rest of them. And because it's an evac, because this is a smash and grab mission, you grab all your stuff and then you go to the evac zone, and you evac out of here one by one.
Copy that.
Excuse me. Now I thought with the Long War mod active that I thought I remember seeing that when you evacuate one soldier, they all get evacuated, but I think I could be wrong now, because this mission didn't pan out that way. Oh well, I was going to go down. I was going to go down there just to see what all that stuff was, so I could get that extra so I can get the extra things going on. So yeah, he gets evac'd. Yeah, I thought there were extra resources that I could grab, but
Avenger, this is Firebrand.
Yeah.
Package is secure.
But I don't know, because I only had 4 turns to go, I was like, you know what, I'm not really going to risk it. So here we go, just finishing off the mission.
Over there.
Just go, and we get evac'd.
I'm going.
Okay, swap characters.
Moving on target
And
location.
yeah, that's the last of it. So one guy did die and get left behind, but the other 4 did well and they survived, even though some of
All
them were
surviving XCOM operatives are
gruesomely,
secure.
gravely
Fire
wounded,
brand
gruesomely
returning to
wounded.
base.
Status
So yeah,
confirmed.
and here we
Mission
go.
accomplished.
So altogether there was 9 enemies, there was 13 turns taken, soldiers wounded, so 2 soldiers were pretty wounded, 1 soldier killed. That was acceptable, fair enough. Oh well. Okay, but in any case, it's all good. So there we go. I actually set a record for myself as well. Average damage per turn, 2.86, not bad. I mean, it did happen to throw a fair few grenades, so a lot of those damages ended up being like 3 to 4. And here we go. So this, and yeah, so I got 2 that are gravely wounded, about 20 odd days. Okay, so I got a technician. 1 guy was promoted to a technician. Here I was trying to find out what I was going to do, whether it was suppression, fire in the hole, or what's that, roust. So I was just trying to think. So more accurate rockets or suppression? I believe that the most useful one that I would probably do would have been suppression, I believe, to stop the enemies from actually running around, and if they did, they would be getting hit, and they had a reduced aim as well, which I found that more important than more accurate rockets. I mean, the accurate rockets are designed anyway for collateral damage so you try and shoot one, doesn't have to be entirely accurate, but yeah, that's the way it would work. And then I promoted this guy as well, so I think I ended up doing, what did I end up doing? So we've got Ghostwalker, Lone Wolf, and Blade Master. I think I ended up doing Lone Wolf mainly because of the 10 plus aim when he's not around anyone else. So yeah, because otherwise the other one would have been the Blade Master, and that would have been awesome, because that blade is just like, attacking enemies like that is wicked. It works really, really well. But I figured it was better to go with the Lone Wolf because it's, if I can separate him from everyone else, that would be fantastic. So I went with that one. And then obviously that Liang was killed. So then we got Chica Boroto, or Boroto, however you want to pronounce it. And yeah, she became, I didn't actually see what she became. Oh well, I'll find out next time. And these are some of the stuff that I got. So data pad suppressors, I got something that, PCS, which I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up a bit better. So yeah, so now I'm able to research some other things. So that's how the game went. And the mission was pretty successful. So, and this is where I save the game, so I'll continue on next time. So, guys, thank you very much. I think with this game, I might continue this particular setup. I might record and then do a voiceover for it afterwards. So, guys, thank you very much, and we will see you next time. So long.